Hello there, my beautiful Leo signs. It's Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is going to be about mostly about the moon that's coming for you. There is a couple major shifts happening for you at this time, Leo. I do feel like you have been making some major changes. Maybe you're feeling a little exhausted, but I feel like you're also feeling a lot of joy and a lot of pleasure. And if you haven't been feeling that, then you will be very soon. The new moon in Leo is on August the 4th, so that's going to be a very significant shift for you at this time. There's a lot of messages I have from Spirit, and I just feel like the fruits of your labor are going to pay off. I just feel like that's a very important thing to tell you at this moment because there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Some of you might be dealing with Aquarius signs. Some of you might be um, some of you might be dealing with another fire sign, Aries. Why did I say Aries? Aries? Maybe you're dealing with Aries. I don't know. That's just what I'm hearing. So, the first message I have for you is from my third eye intuition deck. It says, "Write, write, write. The practice of morning pages is waking up and spending time writing anything that comes to mind. Give your intuition a medium through which to speak." Now, I am a very big advocate for writing down your dreams. I do feel like our dreams, not all of the time, but a lot of the time, are subconsciously telling us um, how to move and what to do. Sometimes it's hard to know what messages we're receiving, so you're going to have to use discernment. But if you see like a pattern in your dreams, it's typically symbolic of something you need to work on. So if you've been dreaming of maybe like past partners or old friendships or things of that nature, if you have dreams, then that's probably symbolic of something you need to heal within yourself, some trauma that might be still remaining there. Now, you do have a lot of things to look forward to. I do feel like you're just very exhausted at this time, Leo, because the card I have, the Wisdom Oracle card, says take a nap. And this is, it's number 24, so 24 might be a significant date for you. We do have the big 8-8 portal coming up as well. That's the Lionsgate portal. That's kind of how I think of when I see Leos. I do feel like that's a major shift, a major opportunity for sure, on this new journey, this new path. And Spirit is really saying, like, like take a break. You did the work. You really put in a lot of effort and a lot of energy into something. This could be a creative idea, this could be a tangible thing, or it could just be yourself. Like you're really practicing self-care, self-love, you're really getting to know yourself, you're really trying to do the inner work, the healing, the shadow work, you're busting through the traumas or the pains of the past. And there is a lot to look forward to because the Sun card came out and the Joy card came out and the Nectar card came out, which are all very synchronistic of one another. So the Sun card, this is keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. This is like you maybe have been having a dark night of the soul and you've been doing a lot of shadow work, and it's like look for the silver lining in the situation and make sure you're aware of the lesson and the blessing of what it is you went through, the traumas that you've had to go through. Now this card is joy, which is tied to the sacral chakra, also, yellow like the sun. This woman has a lot of lovely flowers all over her dress. This is one of the best cards to have. So maybe you're not familiar with joy. I know that sounds a little strange to say, but when you've been in or grown up in a lifestyle based on pain and trauma, sometimes joy is a very unfamiliar feeling, and you feel like maybe you're waiting for the other shoe to drop because you're like, okay, well, when's this gonna go? Because all things shall pass, right? It's kind of it's kind of the cycle of life. But right now, Spirit really wants you to just like sit in it, sit in the feeling of joy, sit in the feeling of happiness. And maybe you need to do some sun gazing. There's some great studies out there on sun gazing and the specific time frames to do that. I know a lot of stuff will be like, don't look at the sun, but that's not necessarily true. If there's a certain period of time, usually at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, an hour or two at like sunrise and an hour or two at sunset, where you can sun gaze safely. And the sun is um, capable of giving us enlightenment because the sun is literally enlightening our lives, and it is a as above so below type of principle where the sun does give us codes and the sun is the life of creation. It keeps everything alive because without the sun, we would all be dead, and this planet would be cold and barren. And yeah, I could go into the science behind that, but I'm not gonna make this video longer than it needs to be, okay? All right, Leo, the next card I have for you is a nectar, which again, I think is another synchronicity of that joy card because there's flowers here. Maybe a lot of you are into gardening or you're getting into gardening or you're like trying to do houseplants or maybe beekeeping even. So the nectar is like, you know, this is kind of like the land of milk and honey card is what I think of this as. This is the sweet juice. This is the rewards for all of your labor, all of your efforts. This is also can be symbolic of your cerebral spinal fluid. I know that sounds a little wild, but when you have an ascension or a kundalini awakening, like you're cleansing your pineal gland, and that is opening up your connection to source consciousness, to the quantum realms, to the other realms that we don't even know about yet. The nectar is literally, scientifically, I view this as your cerebral spinal fluid because that nectar cleanses your pineal gland, and that's what opens up your connection to source energy, to your intuitive abilities, to your godlike abilities and paranormal access and those sorts of things. So the nectar might be, you know, maybe you need to focus on cleansing your pineal gland. And if you're like, what is a pineal gland? What does that have to do with anything? It's tied to your crown, or sorry, your third eye chakra, but it's also kind of tied to your crown chakra in ways, at least for me anyway. But I have a whole video about that, so make sure you check out the pineal gland video or the third eye video, and it tells a little bit about what this nectar is essentially. But this can also just be like, you know, for some of you, it's just like the sweet juice you're getting after putting the work in on something. It could just be yourself and making bigger changes. So the next card I have for you is looking at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. This is why I said some of you might be dealing with Sagittarius. This is all about perspective, because perspective is important because a lot of people are in a short-term mindset. Most of the people who think short-term only and instant gratification are stuck in their like fight or flight mode mechanism, which means that they're living solely out of the base chakras, which is the red, orange, and yellow chakra system. And that is a very primal survival mechanism that they have created their life around. And looking at the bigger picture is kind of like taking a step back to see the forest through the trees. This is also doing things for long-term gain, long-term gratification, not short-term. And that sometimes is a very difficult choice that we all must make. But I do feel like you are being guided to make sure whatever you're doing is in alignment for your future self as well as your current self, which again, you'll have to use discernment there, and it's a kind of a fine line to balance. And it's not easy to make decisions when you're not sure what's going to happen. So if you want some lifestyle coaching or an individualized tarot reading or a wisdom oracle reading, please feel free to reach out or message me. I can do that. And I also do business coaching, dating coaching, lifestyle coaching, you name it, I do it. There's all sorts of different things I can recommend for you and get you on your own specific track and your own specific, basically, accountability regiment that can help you align to your highest best self and your highest best timeline. So the next card I have for you is from my Power of Love deck, Leo. This says unity, so make sure you're using your tools that you have. This says you understand that the love shared with another is amplified and has a ripple effect across the universe. So don't lose sight of your connection to the divine, your connection to one another. Sometimes, especially if we're on an enlightenment journey, an enlightenment path, we get lost in the vanity of almost being like a holier than thou because you've learned the lessons and you want to share that knowledge with other people, and it can come off it can come off a little arrogant sometimes, and you know, I get that because I'm a fire sign, okay? I usually just say whatever's on my mind and I don't really care, and sometimes people find that very abrasive. I'm not for those people, okay? I'm just not. I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. But if you're not okay with that, then that might be something you want to practice. But you're a Leo. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I mean, you're listening to this, so take it as it resonates. But your past energy here is the King of Wands. This is all about some spark, some passionate creative idea that you're actually like doing. This is you're investing. You have invested in yourself or in something that brings you passion, pleasure, those sorts of things. This is like, you know, maybe you thought about becoming an artist and you finally signed up for that class. Like this is something sparking that creative fire and lighting the fire inside of you, and maybe that's what's bringing you joy now because you've took the leap of faith, and now you're really investing in yourself, and um, you're taking care of yourself. Now, the present energy I have for you is Queen of Pentacles. This is all about a cool, comfortable, calm, stable lady who, and it doesn't have to be a lady, it can be a man, okay? If you're watching this, energy is fluid, so it goes both ways. But the Queen of Pentacles in this picture is a lady who is like, she's got it together, okay? She's going places, she knows what she's doing, she's holding on to her coins, and she's investing in them, like investing her stuff wisely and investing into herself too. And she's really like chill, really chill about it. Now, the future card I have for you is the Fool. This is great. This is symbolic of a new chapter, a new path, a new habit, lifestyle. This is a whole, like, closing out a cycle of the old version of you that wasn't serving you. This is going on a brand new journey, happy-go-lucky kind of feeling, and just overall positive vibes, positive energy. And I just noticed that person's holding a flower as well. Something about flowers is significant at this time for sure, because the nectar, the joy card with flowers, this thing with flowers. I don't know. If this is resonating, hit the like button. Thank you. And then the last card I have for you, Leo, is the Two of Swords. This is in your subconscious energy. So I do feel like you've had to, maybe you felt like you were at a stalemate and you had to make a decision or a choice, but whatever it is, it's like you stood up for yourself. You stood up for your beliefs, your morals, your values, and you made a choice. And, you know, maybe you felt like you only had two choices to choose from, but I feel like there was a third option, and I feel like maybe that's what you chose here, Leo, and I do sense there's a lot of positivity coming from this major shift you're having at this moment. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But that's all I have for you, Leo. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps my channel to grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Again, if you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session or a tarot reading or whatever, just feel free to reach out to me. No pressure. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped, and I will see you next time.